Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the north, ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's eastern player, then working our way westward, we have in orange to color orange, Rev Lizard. He is a UEF for this match, and he is a 1000 rated. To his northwest, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, QQQ. He is an Aeon for this match as a 1200. And to his west, we have in Pac-Man Yellow, Twitchy Mofo. He's a UEF for this match as a 1400. To his south, we have in the front line, in Batman Gray, Ilu. I think that's how you say his name. Ilu. He is a Cybern for this match. He is a 900. In Chevy Crimson to his northwest is another Cybern. It is Willem Wallace. He is a 1600. And again, he is a Cybern. And last but not least, a 14-1 we have in Emerald Green, the highest rated player on their team. And in the game overall at an 1800 rating, Vist. He is a UEF. And again, he is an Emerald Green. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 UEF, 2 Cyberns, and 1 Aeon. Team 1 lacks Seraphim technology. Starting off with Team 2's Western plan and working our way eastward, we have in Ruby Red, the highest rated player on Team 2. It is X-Ra. He is an Aeon. He is, again, a 1700 in Ruby Red as a Aeon. To his southeast, we have in Lightest Red Pink, excuse me. He is Rekather. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1500. To his northeast, we have in Amethyst Purple going for a nice little Team 1 max. He is Count Swagula. He is an 1100 as a Cybern. And in Forest Green in the back, we have as a Seraphim Hyper 2001. He is a 1300. To his east in Royal Blue is the Cybern player of Blarg 6516. He is a 1300. And right next to him, we have Randy Savage as a UEF here in Barbie Pink as an 1100. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Cyberns, 2 Seraphim, 1 Aeon, 1 UEF, which means Team 2 has all of the factions represented on their side of the map. Team 1 lacks the Seraphim faction. And for 12 players on the map, let's take a look at a reclaim they have to scoop up. Currently sitting at, drumroll please, almost 48,000 mass, which means it is 4,000 mass per player. Lots of mass to scoop up. There is a lot of it everywhere. I think the highest clump I see just kind of scanning the map is a 1,300 or so. So that 48,000 mass is scattered all across the map. We do see some ponds, so we might see maybe a naval factory, maybe from these eastern players. But it's very much kind of a disjointed map. There are some avenues kind of dotted around the map to get to other parts, but it's specifically going to be just kind of an east, a middle, and a west, or a center. So we'll see how our players traverse the map and throw plasma and other stuff at one another. For mass count layouts, let's take a look at Team 1 side of the map. There is 1, 2, 3 quad mechs positions, a 5-star mechs up here right next to Twitchy Mofo's comm. There's 1, 2 tri-mechs positions in the front line. And there's a couple of mass points doubted kind of in the back. There's also quad mechs right here that Willem Wallace has already grabbed, so that's another one. So lots of mass to grab and a lot of mass to expand to. Down the exact middle of the map, I'd say there's just these 2 mexes right here. So not really a whole lot to fight over. So our players going to be a little bit happy of not having to constantly battle for mexes, but they are not going to be happy that they can't deny them as easily. So it's, a give and take in that regard. We do see a drop that has been initiated by Fist going after this quad mech position here for X-Rar. Engineer is down, was building a T1 factory. There is a bomber nearby trying to deal the last death blow to said unit. Bomber either misses or doesn't drop. 1 mech does go down. There is an engineer coming to replace its dead colleague there. We do see the bomb has been dropped. That unit is dead, and that plateau is now safe. It's shaping up to be 2 comms here for Team 2 on this western side, facing off against one of them for Team 1. We do see down the middle, it's possibly at least a 1v1. We could see maybe a 3v2 here if we include Blarg from Team 2 and Twitchy Mofo and Rev Lizard. We could see that Randy Savage kind of just on his own over here on this eastern edge. It's very difficult to get units out in there unless you use a transport. Units can traverse this tiny little environment, so large land battles kind of out of the question. We do see a naval factory has been started by the orange color orange player of Rev, so we will see if he does go for that or not. We'll just again have to keep an eye on that. Gun speed has been started by XR in the west. Gun speed and range is done for Ilu in the middle, so he has a nice little gun online facing off against Count Regular, who also has a gun. They are both Cybran, so no faction bonuses in terms of HP or any other of those nonsenses. It's just going to be a combi-com action here. Overcharge immediately out. Ilu focusing on the comm. Units in for Swagula coming in to deal with the incoming units. We could see a trade happen. We do see that Ilu is dropping pretty quickly. Same here with Swagula has already dropped below the 75% mark. Lots of Mantis here pushing in, giving a little bit of room for Ilu to work with. We do see that Swagula now focusing on the Mantis now to try to get some veterancy to get those more hit points under his belt. In the west, T2 online here for Rekethor coming online. Pushing against Willem Wallace, who is in full retreat. He has no gun on board. XR has the speed/range upgrades on board, which means he can easily pressure Team 1 on this western side. We do see a very early T2 radar system here for Ilu. Love to see this. Tons of vision here, tons of radar signatures here for him. We do see that there is an engagement here in the east here for Twitchy Mofo and Rev Lizard versus Team 2's Blarg. Blarg pushing into this quad mechs position. We do see that Rev is going to lose all of those mexes, but he is building some more PD and other facilities back here, so he'll eventually deal with this. Actually, there's no PD, excuse me, that was just a radar system. Twitchy Mofo comes in with his commander. It's a little dangerous. There aren't 20, I'd say there's less than 20 Mantis there, even if there were 20. Twitchy Mofo did have some assisting units nearby, so he wasn't too worried. But it does look like Ilu trying to come in and try to box in these units here for Blarg. Unfortunately, there are reinforcements inbound. This is going to be a large fight in the middle. We do see the comm of Ilu pushing him with a stealth upgrade. And Count Swagula back up into the green, only has the gun still. Mantis trading Mantis brother against brother in the middle of the map. Team 1's orange, sorry, not orange, but emerald green player, Vist, going for a gun upgrade. Same thing here for Wallace. So 2 players on Team 2 have upgrades and are pushing in against Team 1, who's going for upgrades now. And in the east, we do see some units outbound from Randy, who's also taken the eastern edge of the pond. So he has split his forces up. Same thing has been happening here for Rev. There's also been splitting his forces down the middle. So essentially 3-waysing it versus 2-waysing it for Team 2. Lots of Team 1 units being spammed up and throwing themselves to the middle here to the Wolves. Swagula pushing in back up into the back down into the yellow. You see a couple of rocket bots online, these hoplites, a couple of Team 1 artillery EMPing them for a moment. Swagula getting a little bit body blocked by his own units. That's never a good thing to do, but he is getting some veterancy, almost up to 1 star. And in the west, lots of units moving in here for Willem Wallace. We do see that the shield is coming online for Vist as well to protect that commander. In the back, T3 Air is online. Team 1 also about to have T3 Air in at least one player's pocket. Don't see another facility. Ooh, what's this one? This one's going for T3, so at least 2 players for Team 1 going for T3 and possibly 1 for Team 2, and I think that's it. Yeah, so possibly 2 air players for Team 2, at least 2 air players for Team 1, and possibly a 3rd, actually, if we count the one in the east here for QQQ, who has not sent his comm forward. He's just ecoing in his base and going for T3 as we speak. We do see that Hybrid 2001 is in the rear as well. So again, not to say the exact same air players or players are doing the same thing, but at least there is 1 on each team essentially doing the same thing. So the firepower on the front lines is the same. In the east, large engagements, and I'm going to split things up because there's multiple engagements happening at the same time all over the map. Let's see in the west. I'd say this one's not as important, so we'll shift it here with the comm of Blarg, and of course the mini-map, not mini-map, but the scoreboard will mess with that. We do see that Willem Wallace pushing in against Rekethor's position. T2 PD bombarding his position. Rar trying to assist Vist in here with a shield and gun on board. Wallace only with a stealth and gun. Going to give him a little bit of advantage of not being spotted by radar quite easily. T1 PD opens up and Wallace falls back. We do see more units inbound here from Reckitter to try to stem the tide of this bleeding. But there is a lot going on here for Team 2 and Team 1. It is just kicked off quite nicely. Oh, that is the wrong way in terms of the speed. Don't want to go to +3. That's too quick. Units have fallen back here for Blog, so it looks like for the most part the engagement in the eastern half of the map or so is dealt with and has cooled down for the time being. Of course, nothing does stay cool for long. In terms of reclaim still on the map, it was 48 as we started with. 22,000 still remains, so most of that has already been reclaimed, at least the initial mass. Now it's just the dead units and structures. Reckitter going for PD. It tries to get denied, but Reckitter will finish it and force back Team 1, at least add a moment. Blazers inbound, trying to keep some vision here for Team 2 to allow that PD to target that commander. We do see that the PD targeting the units instead that are inbound for Ra's commander. Ra has to be very careful because if he's not, this could be an easy 2v1 kill. Reckitter is nearby though, but he doesn't have gun. He has T2, so it's not going to last very much longer. He's in terms of, you know, if he's in an engagement, not a com action or just units for that matter. He is going for more PD. He needs more shields. Ra could come in with another shield in placement to protect these PD to just keep Team 1 back. It's creating a nice little exclusion zone, but not for long. In the west, Ilu. Don't know how to say that name. Still, it's the same story back and forth. Count Swagula pushes in. Ilu falls back. Ilu pushes in, falls back because Count Swagula pushes back. In both these comms, at least 1 star veterancy, count at a little bit over 2 now. So more hit points, more survivability, more regen, more crazy FAF nonsense, which I'd love to see. 14 minutes on the clock here. Team 1 and Team 2's eco roughly the same. No real issue one way or the other. It's, again, power, reclaim, all that sort of nonsense that keep it not necessarily stable for the time being. We do see that Nano on the line here for Wallace. He's already about 33% done with that. He's already in the green, so he doesn't need it, but if he wants to be more aggressive, he definitely does. I do like the fact that he is sitting underneath a stealth field generator, so, you know, stealth on top of stealth is always nice. T3 air online for Vist, and he's pumping out engineers now, going for his P-gen. So maybe we'll see his efforts to go for air. Maybe he'll just go for other endeavors, maybe a nearly Fat Boy or something. We'll just have to check it out. T3 land starting to be the main stage here for everybody that's not going for air in Team 2 and Team 1. Of course, it is about that 15-minute mark. We do see the comm of Rev pushing in on the western edge of his island over here. His pond over here, which has a T2 naval headquarters that's already taken some damage. And that's not great because if there's more missiles outbound, which I was just about to say, that's probably what's been firing at him initially, it's going to go down. He was building a cruiser by the looks of it, and that cruiser is not going to finish because those missiles are inbound, and that will kill him. And that other missile was not necessary, but just wanted to be sure. You got to have a backup for your plan, and then a backup for the backup, and then a backup for that backup for that backup. Backups are important. In the west, still 2v2 engagement, but it does look like Team 2's War has retreated, leaving Reckitter all alone. Team 1 could take severe advantage of this and severely push Team 2 back. This is not really looking good here for Team 2's frontline player of Reckitter. He needs to be very careful how long he stays there. That's a lot of units grouping up. A lot of them are T2, some of them still Team 1. We do see that Vist has fallen back. Same thing with Wallace. They don't want to get sniped, which I don't blame them, but still, they could press the advantage and easily win, but I have, of course, and everybody else does, the benefit of full vision, full knowledge, full everything, and these players do not. Of course, as a reminder, this is what Team 1 can see. This is what Team 2 can see. Actually, to be fair, but Team 1 can see where Ra's comm is, so it's one of those things where they could easily just be like, oh yeah, there isn't a comm there, and let's push in and just deal with it. Looks like fire basing war is starting to materialize here for Ilu. He's getting some PD and TMD online. On the southern side of things, same situation here for Count Swagular. And then to the eastern side of that middle, we see just units building up, but not really a whole lot of them. Just some just to kind of keep it there and, not really worry about much. We do see a transported comm inbound from Hyper, and that transport gets shot down right after it drops the comm off. We do see that it's Gun Nano and T2. He's going to get some veterancy from all these T1 strikers coming in to assist his teammate of Randy Savage on the front line. I mean, I'm assuming he just came in for the veterancy and was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to push him too much. And this is going to be huge for him. Randy could try to, sorry, not Randy, Rev could try to overwhelm him, but with the Nano and the T2 and the gun, it's going to be very difficult. And that comm is getting veterancy very, very quickly. He's going to get to 1 stars here soon. And that's not going to go well for Team 1's Eastern player, especially because he has most of his forces over here. At least the direct fire forces. A lot of these are just artillery. Look at this, just constantly shot after shot after shot. Getting a kill is dangerous here for Team 1 to keep this comm unabated. Missile is outbound. I don't know where it's going. Looks like it was probably going for where Rev was standing, but it's a little too late in that aspect. It's a waste, but at least it was an attempt, which is better than nothing. It is unfortunate it didn't land, but it is something. Randy Savage now getting bombarded by Torps, and pings do go down, saying, hey, Randy, you got to watch out. He does have T2, so 2,000 additional hit points should be enough. He isn't dropping into the yellow as of yet, but he should be able to make it to shore. And I don't know why he just didn't go this way, but I guess it was a shorter route. In the west, we do see that the attack is starting to shift a little bit to the eastern, possibly going after the facilities on this upper plateau. We do see that upper plateau not that high in terms of Elu and those forces down below him. We do see his forces actually shifting east, going after Blarg. Blarg holding position, getting some PD. They are tickle cannons, but they are something better than nothing. A couple of radar systems also in line for Team 2 as well. And we do see that in the west, this little mountain here causing some very interesting scenarios to happen, where we have these rocket bots essentially climbing it but shooting into the mountain they're standing on, because they're not on the top of it. We do see that those blazes are inbound, going after the PD emplacements. Those PD are holding, at least they're trying to. Another one is built very quickly. Wall sections tried to be rebuilt, but it is gone. Lots of blazes inbound. Team 1's Wallace is retreating. His comm, well, his forces are retreating to group up with his comm, who's moving in to intercept. We could see in a situation where Team 2's remaining forces go over here to this position, but I highly doubt it since we don't see that much brought to bear. We do see an Omni about to be finished off. Team 2 could easily grab that. It's not that damaging, but it's something. There is a nice Harbinger in there. It's going to get overcharged, I would assume, or just wiped off the face of the map. And elsewhere situations, we do see that there are some bricks in the mix as well for Wallace, so this force will get whittled down quite quickly. And still, nobody has died yet at almost 20 minutes. It is a surprise, to be sure. There's been a few games now that I've casted that no one has really died before 20 minutes, which is strange. It's definitely different. It's nice to see. It's not always going to be the case, of course, but it is nice to see. Lots of Team D here for Rev. He's going to pretty much deny any sort of missile advance for the time being. He wants that T2 naval headquarters that desperately. I don't blame him. He's UEF. Getting cruise missiles are very nice. Very, very nice. Cruiser missiles, excuse me, not cruise missiles. Those are two different things. At least I think they are. T3 coming online here for Rekather in the back. His comm has fallen back, but he does have a nice facility. He's going to start a chicken here shortly. He's going to try to get an experimental on the front lines. We do see that these units in from Elu trying to push in, going after these T3 mexes here. Well, T3 and T2 mexes. But most of those forces are going to get stuck. They did take out a mass storage, which is it's something. It cuts off a little bit of mass income for Team 2's Count Spago, about 2 mass or so, but not really a huge win. Just, It's a Team 1 max, if you want to equate it that way, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much. And 20 minutes on the clock here. Team 1 at 1.3k mass income. Team 2 at 1.4, so barely ahead, but barely. Team 1 sitting at everybody alive. Team 2 also sitting at everybody alive. So, again, no one has died, even after the 20-minute mark. Map control, definitely about 50, if maybe 55 for Team 2, 45 for Team 1. Again, it's kind of fluctuating. We see in the east the wipe of the naval facility that was just built is going to happen. And QQQ finishes in experimental. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game at 21 minutes and 6 seconds. Thank you so very much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. And of course, as always, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. T3 is almost done here for Recather, and that naval facility is toast once more. That's the second one that Rev has built, and that is the second one that he has lost. And that's Colossus, surprisingly, because QQQ is an Aeon, but I would expect a chicken or a monkey first, but not a Colossus. This is going to be a huge help with either forcing this large group of units back or pushing down the middle, which has a lot of loyalists popping up. We haven't seen Bricks really be the main stage unit here for Blarg, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him transition to that here shortly. We do see Willem Wallace is now back in his base, and Vest is going to go hide in the water. Is he doing anything spicy in his base? He went for air, so not super spicy yet. Does have a decent amount of broadswords online. That's kind of spicy. We do see that another air grid here for Team 1, and another air grid starting to materialize. 3 players are in the air departments. Actually, 4 of them technically if you count the one from Wallace, but I'll say 3 for the time being. Huge run by opportunity and possibly happening here for Team 1's Wallace, but there is a decent amount of PD that's built. A lot of units are falling back to intercept. Gunships online. Recather was going to build that chicken, but decided against it because he has some incursions to deal with. Lots of PD here. Going to rip apart a lot of those Team 1 and T2 units. Those Team 3 are going to be a little bit of a different scenario here. He does have some Harbinger support inbound, targeting those bricks specifically. And once those are dealt with, the other units are just child's play. Not really a huge issue there. But of course, Team 1 has been shoved back. They did have this quad mix position, and now they don't. Now this one is under threat and is going to go down. Radar is now gone, and T2 mix is going down in the base here for Team 2's highest rated player of Rock. He is defeated by gunships from Vist. He went for a sniper attempt, and he got it. We do see the ASFs are there just a moment too late, and it is now a 6v5 in favor of Team 1. ASFs here for Hyper 2001, able to mop up the most of them at least, and the gunships as well. ASFs also online for Recather, but again, a little too late in that regard. Very unfortunate for Team 2. He did get a shield online and was getting some AA online, but it just wasn't quick enough. And now he has a Colossus, or he would have. It's now being built and constructed and finished out by Recather. We do see a lot of missile spam here from these Vipers in the North. Harbingers, I think, on a collision course with those group of units. And those Vipers are not moving. Those bricks need to intercede, or this force of units are gone. We do see that they're targeting all of the PD, but looks like not all those Harbingers are actually targeting those units. We do see the bricks are opening up. The Harbingers are in retreat. You could take out the rest of them, but looks like he's focused on other things for the time being. All of the PD pretty much are gone. Of course, reclaim operations are underway in the middle. Team 2's Count Swaggler has been pushed back by Elu. It says, nice dodge, Twitchy. So it looks like Twitchy had some sort of issues, possibly with some gunships or no, those are gunships, or not the fighter bombers, or some sort of fighter bomber. But was an attempt, but it was unsuccessful from Team 2. It would have been a good snipe attempt, but again, Twitchy dodged a little bit, and that was it of that story. You do see those Vipers continuing to just pressure Team 2 on this western side. 25 minutes almost on the clock here. Team 2's got to start thinking about how to win this game, not necessarily just survive in it. Randy going for a Fat Boy. We do see air expansionary efforts here for Hyper going for Ras. T3 PGen spam here for Recather for power consumption and production. Another Colossus is almost done. He's going up very quickly. This is at 0 speed. This Colossus is going up incredibly quickly. And of course, the first one's already on station. We do see a couple of PD. I do love this, that they're on the cliff edge, so they're able to actually shoot down at the units below, while the units cannot shoot back at them quite easily. Love that kind of height advantage. Air quotes on the height advantage, because there is and isn't one in this game. There's not an actual stat advantage. There's just a, hey, you can't shoot me, but I can kind of advantage. Colossus that was built by QQQ, now out of the water and pushing it against these bricks. There are a lot of them, and is grabbing each of them one by one. And unfortunately here for that Colossus, he's losing hit points very quickly here. The laser doing some AoE when those bricks stack up a little bit, but More bricks moving in. That Colossus is dropping below 50% very quickly. QQQ has to get us out of here. Get it out of here now, or it is going to die. The orders have been given to move, and that Colossus is going to dip its head back under the surface of the water and be fine. And unfortunately, it is very badly damaged. So that Colossus is essentially not out of commission, but technically out of commission. We do see that in the west, Reckoner has a huge chunk of the map to himself, probably sitting at, I'd say 20 or so percent. He's sitting at 600 mass plus per second, a huge amount of mass. I mean, he is on dual base, to be fair, but still. Team 1's QQQ at 550 and Vist at 420. Anybody else below that? What is Vist up to now? He's going for more shields. He went for an SMD to protect against a nuke. Grab haven't started here for William. He skipped the monkey phase. We do see Satellite and Fatboy have been started here for Team 1's Twitch. He looks like he's shifting more in the Satellite because he's reclaiming the Fatboy that had some HP, but now it's gone. Reckoner finishes another Colossus. Nuke is online and is half loaded here for Team 1's QQQ and going for an Emissary. Ooh, does Team 2 know about it? No, that is not great for Team 2. If they don't find out about that soon, it is going to be very, very deadly for everybody in terms of the nuke and the artillery, of course. Pigeons or some E-storages have been built to increase its power output. And we do see that Colossus is now inbound to the front. There are 3 of them now here for Team 2, and they could easily shove through this position without any issue. I mean, there's some gunships and there's some T3 units, some being actually a decent portion of them. But with 3 Colossi, they can each grab 2, so that's 6 units you can easily just hold on to and crush and then destroy and then drop and then get more of them. So easy engagement here for Team 2 to win if Reckoner does send them in, which he may or may not. It just depends on how confident he feels. He doesn't want to mass donate anything, which is always a problem to do in this game, but you got to take a risk at some point. Looks like the 2 Colossi are going to push in a little bit far, and then the third one's going to push in behind it and catch up. Another one is almost done. We see it's about to tick over into the green. He is just pumping those things out constantly. And T2 air facility pumping out some of those Spectre gunships, but it's very slow because it's focusing, of course, on the... Actually, that's not a Spectre gunship. Well, it does say Spectre gunship, but it's building an Illumnar. Because that makes sense. How does that work? When I hover over it, it shows gunship, but when I go to the factory, it says Illumnar transport. Please explain. That doesn't make any sense. In the middle, another attack looks like it's starting to brew here for Team 2's Count's Regular. Instead of shifting west, he's pushing east. That satellite is done for Twitchamofo, and that's really going to start hurting Team 2's backline eco and power and all the other stuff that they have. That Colossi duo is pushing in against a couple of bricks. Probably should have waited for the third one. Possibly should have bring all of those T3 support as well, but that's not going to be great. Lasering the brick as he's grabbing it, that's definitely not a great feeling, I would presume. Of course, the lasers doing very well at eliminating the initial units inbound, but now those bricks are moving into range. We do see, of course, those Vipers pumping out missiles as fast as possible. Gunships and Team 1 bombers inbound. We do see 1 lightning tank, but that brick that was grabbed actually does kill the lightning tank. Very unfortunate. Team 1 bombers ripping apart that first Colossus over there. And most of those bricks have already been dealt with. There's still a decent amount to remain. We have some Renegade gunships as well. We have some Harbingers as well. It looks like the new Colossus is now inbound, and the old one is retreating. Lots of flak here, dealing with all of those Team 1 bombers. Lots of spam inbound from Vist to try to push this attack back. He does have his own satellite online, and lots of ASFs. Possibly somebody would donated them over. Possibly. We do see that in the middle, Count's Regular pushes in. The nuke is launching. Where is it going? It's going for this base. The SMD that either was there or destroyed or both, or wasn't there to begin with or whatever, is down. That's going to be a big explosion, unfortunately, for Team 2. That base, for Reckoner specifically, is DED or DOA or whatever other acronym you want to use. We do see another push in the east here from Blarg using the water to his advantage. Going after that possibly same Colossus. Nope, that's a different one. That other Colossus kill a lot more units. We see some Percys now emerging here from Rev. pushing in, trying to deal with this brick force. Going to do very well, of course. The bricks can have torpedoes on board, which means they can shoot while they're underneath the surface and units in the water. And of course, the UEF do not have that on board their Perseus. Colossus continue to emerge, going after some Ravagers on the cliff edge. And there goes the new kaboom! There goes the entire air grid bar. One air facility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 core mexes are dead. That Rekather is feeling not great now. He was producing a lot of mass, and now he's still producing 700, but yeah, not feeling too good right now. His air power is severely diminished. And we're going to have to see if Team 1 takes full advantage or not. Colossi continue to break through. There is a crab moving in to intercept. It's going to be a little bit too late. We do see the capped mexes being ripped apart by those mass fab volatile explosion nonsense cascade. T3 Mex is going down here for Vist. It's not going to feel well. Will the satellite stay online? Does Team 2 know about it? They do see it, so you might as well go for it at this point. This Colossus is going to feel perfectly fine with doing that. Lasers now going after all of the Pigeons, going after all of the everything. Pigeons constantly being damaged and ripped apart by those cascades. There goes the satellite. The satellite is DED. And now Team 2 gets a win in their column. An attack in the east. Speaking of Team 2, there we go. Fat Boy and a lot of Perseus running around here, and some bricks as well. Pushing in for Blarg. We do see that there is some AA and TMD defenses, but not really a lot of PD. Well, there's some now being built. And we do see that Rev is sitting next to a Pigeon. Definitely don't stand there for too long there, my friend. The artillery is now done for Team 1's. QQQ, the emissary, is ready to go. We do see that satellite is hanging overhead. Took out a huge chunk of Hyper 2001's air grid. Air grid's not doing well this game. Multiple of them have been taken out. The T3 air headquarters is fine for some reason for those Colossi, but it looks like one Colossus going after more mexes takes out that quad mex position. We do see this Colossus is about to go down, sub at 10,000 hit points, but did kill 109,000 mass, so more than paid for itself. The army inbound from Count Straggler encounters a monkey, which they're trying to rip apart, but there are more bricks and a crab nearby, so that monkey might actually survive that encounter. Team 2 has cleansed the middle of the map here of anything for Team 1. 32 minutes on the clock. Look at this. Let me slow it down just a little bit so I don't miss anything else. Look at this line here, essentially not counting the AA that's right here, right about there where those interceptors are. Team 2 owns everything below that, which I'd say that's about 75% of the map. That is a huge portion of it. And you can see that reflected in the mass income at 2.3 versus 1.5, but that's possibly power related, so I won't really count that. But still, that is a huge number to be ahead. Those Perseus and bricks pushing in to another air grid. That is 1 air grid, that is 2 air grid, that is 3 air grid, that is 4 air grids-ish wiped off the face of the map. Most of them not feeling too well, but technically this is not an air grid. It is a land facility, to be fair, but it's still a grid in terms of power, in terms of facilities. So yes, it's not an air grid, and I did correct myself there, but it still hurts. Teleporter has been started here for Count Straggler, maybe who go for laser. Rekather going or has T3 on board and is just sitting in the water for the time being. In the northwest, Colossus still being bombarded by all those air units. But look at this plateau here for Vist. He is wiped out. He has a T3 mech and he has an air facility. That's really going to keep him in this game long term, just because he can produce more of those engineers. Had he not have that, he'd have to just come back out of the water, build another land facility, go back up through the stages, and it's going to be such a pain to do that. So luckily for him, that facility is still online. I like the fact that he just has a transport just randomly sitting over there. The emissary is targeting something on Team 2's side of the map, and a donut is almost half done. Actually, it is half done, excuse me. We do see it is targeting, looks like the nuke that was built by Team 2's Hyper 2001. His SMD is going down, and his Hastue nuke launcher is almost dead, and it's going to die here shortly. Hyper 2001 just not having a good day here. In the east, what do we see? No real big ticket items here so far. Anything in the west here for Team 2 that I don't see? Lots of Colossi going to be built. There goes the Nuke. And there goes all of those engineers as well. Looks like Hyper 2001 is being targeted by the 2 satellites from Twitchy in the north. Looks like he's only keeping those 2. He's not building more, which you can build more, build less, or build none. Just up to you. We do see some transports inbound from Count Swagger that do get spotted. Going to drop right on top of a couple of units inbound from Team 1. One transport does not drop its forces. Unfortunately, they drop right on top of bricks. Would have been a great grab, I might add. Unfortunately, there was a crab that's being built, or that just finished, so that wouldn't have done a lot of damage. But I still like the attempt. So it's like the... That's not like... It is nice to see more of those types of more riskier plays. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they do work. It's just, you got to take the risk. That's why it's risky. Because there is a benefit that you may not get otherwise if you don't take the risk. More Colossi now in the front lines. There are 3 of them here for Team 2. Once again, 1, 2, 3 wrecks over here, so Team 1 has a little bit of mass to scoop up. Team 2 possibly can get that one right there, but Team 1's definitely going to get those 2 up there. Lots of Team 1 bombers running around, as well as gunships. Those broadswords devastating here against all of those land units. Would like to see some more AA here from Team 2, but looks like they're focused on other endeavors. There is some AA, but there's not as much as I would like to see. Laser is spotted here by Twitchy Mofo. Teleport is still underway. He's probably talking about the fact that, he's going for possibly teleporter, and he might have the laser already. Hyper 2001 still alive somehow. Looks like he's getting on a transport to go somewhere, it looks like. And we do see... Again, no real efforts. We do see a nuke started here for Randy. No real efforts to try to end the game from Team 2 besides maybe the nuke. I don't see any other things. I guess there was a nuke for Hyper 2001, but it's been wiped out. Team 1 has 2 satellites, a nuke, and an artillery. And another satellite on the way. And a donut. We do see a crab pushing in, but doesn't have any sort of AA support, and those broadswords are ripping it apart. It's not having a good day here. There's 1 Colossus over here. Where'd the other 2 go? They charge forward, going after crabs, going after monkeys. Monkeys intercepting this Colossus. That Colossus is going to die before it kills off the crab. How unfortunate for Team 2. And that's just another mass donation from Team 2 for Team 1. You don't see any other big ticket items here so far for Team 2 at 36 minutes even. That artillery now landing on Blarg's base. Oh, I love the blueprint here for Team 2's Randy Savage. He is building, or soon to be building, the T4 game ender that is the Mavor. We will see if it actually gets built or not, but I'd love to see it. That is what I like to see. You see in the west, the Tsar going after that Colossus. Decent amount of AA underneath. Not a terrible amount, but, doesn't want to get any hull damage on board that newly minted donut. Another nuke is outbound. Same nuke launcher from Team 1's QQQ. Moving in, going after, looks like this base for Blarg. Blarg does not have any sort of SMD coverage at all. Lots of land factories here pumping out a lot of AA and Percy's. Same thing here for Blarg, except those are mainly engineers, it looks like. And this base is going to go down, unfortunately. Granted, it's not his main base, but he is going to lose 5 T3 mexes, which is about 140 mass per second. 125 plus 2 times 5, so 135. So, yeah, almost 140. There goes the nuke. Boom! Takes out 6 mexes, so even a mex here for Team 2's Randy. He's going to be annoyed about that. And there is the artillery. It's already been rotated a little bit to make it a little bit easier to align its barrel. And I would like to see more of the P-gens built first. Actually, no, sorry, more of the shields and the P-gens. But I'd say shields, then P-gens, then artillery would be probably the more defensive way to play it. And in the west, it's just more units grouping up. Airfight occurs. It goes after the donut. The donut does survive, but the air units are wiped out. Team 1 has air dominance, if not supremacy at this point. Not just QQQ, but QQQ has 100 plus and is building another donut in response to the one that that just got taken out. Vist has 100 as well. So 200 ASFs for Team 2. Hyper 2001, how many do you have? 16. And how many does Rekether have? 8. So yeah, that is air supremacy territory here for Team 1. Team 2, I mean, they're not countering it as much as they could. There is a decent amount of AA on the front line to the west, but in the east, it's kind of bare coverage, which the ACU was exposed. What's going on? Just AA for base. Shield says Vist. I'm talking about the artillery most likely. The units are inbound from Team 2's Randy, pushing in SAUs, going down. Cascade possible, but I don't think so. Oh, there go those PD. That's got to hurt. Just because they just built those moments ago. That's another SACU going down, trying to stay online. Lots of broadswords, of course, ripping apart the Perseus. A couple more shots will do in those SACUs. One more is needed for this one. Will it get killed? No, it goes after the other one. This one survives. Less than 250 hit points remaining, and that second artillery is under construction and is not in danger of dying. There is another group of units here, though, for Team 2 down here for Blarg. And I say down here because, you know, look what Team 2 and Team 1 is, essentially. There is a Fat Boy online for Rev, and this is very defense. This is very long-range oriented. Team 2 is on the attack, which sometimes is the advantage, sometimes is not the advantage. I'd say in this case, it is definitely not the advantage to be on the attack. They could easily just hold position with what they have or fall back even a little bit, solidify defenses, solidify SMD coverage, solidify AA coverage, and then just be done with it at this point. But they want to push, 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 and that might be the downfall of them. They're doing very well. It is a 5v5 game here, so each team has lost one player. Nuke is almost loaded. The Mavor is half done. I don't think Team 1 has spotted it yet. No, they have not. Hyper 2001 is in the water down there. Lots of P-gens. What is this? It is a YOLO's Rekether. You could easily just send some engineers over and build the Mavor already. But it looks like he's going to build his own experimental. We'll see if that plays out for him or not. We have air. I will wipe right. Cover me, says Twitchy Mofo. Here come the gunships. They are inbound. I have like Star Wars music playing in my head, like dum 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 dum. The scene from I think that's episode 4. No. I'm trying to think of that. I think that's the Death Star. Some of the music for those scenes. Here come the ASFs in. Actually, no, excuse me. Those are interceptors, not ASF. And the ASF are wiping for Vist. And here come those gunships. They are inbound. There is AA moving into range. Cougar's trying to stop this approach. ASF inbound from Hyper. This might be enough to stop this gunship approach. Does Team 1 end up spotting the Mavor because of this? And those AA not there in time. They're going after the mass extractors and the mass fabs here. There goes that max. And here come the ASFs inbound back again here from Team 2's Hyper 2001. Oh, it's close. It's right here. Oh, they don't see it. They see a couple of bouncers. I don't know if they'll spot that artillery. They do spot the nuke. And they ping saying going after the P-gens, which would definitely be worth it, because that'd be a huge cascade. Oh, will they get it? There goes the E-Storage. There it goes, and there goes Team 2's player of Randy. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Ooh, ow, I felt that. That's rough. Note to self, do not stand in the middle of E-Storages or P-gens, because both things are volatile. That is rough. Ouch. And that will drop this game to a 5v4 in favor of the northern team of Team 1. Another land battle is ensuing. Tons of crabs, tons of colossi. Fat Boy, Monkey Lord. This crab's going down. Monkey Lord doing tons of damage because it's not being destroyed or even targeted. Ion Stump does activate, though, and that might rip up the rest of those HP on board. That monkey, it looks like Colossus trying to single fire at one crab first. Monkey is dropping below 50%. There are some bricks. They're going to go not felt good by those by that ion storm. There's a couple of artillery pieces down here also for Rekather. We do see that the Colossus is about to crash damage on top of the crab. There goes a chunk of HP, and there they go. Monkey now being dual fired by the Colossi. This Colossus down. Now there's a single Monkey Lord left. Sorry, single Colossus targeting it. Colossus turns back. Nuke is outbound. Where's it outbound from? 3 satellites overhead from Twitchy Mofo going after this air grid here for Rekather. And that's not going to help his power grid. How is that YOLO doing? It's not even built yet, so I'm going to just ignore that. How is the Mavor doing? Well, it's almost done. It's about to tick over into the green. And watch it for a couple more seconds. And got to watch it for a couple more seconds. That was taking too long anyway. Second artillery is online for Just Q, building a QQQ, building a third one. We do see that he does have that nuke, and it's killed off 135,000 mass. Fourth laser's online for Twitchy Mofo, and first laser back on, almost back online here for Vist. Donut comes in, cleanses the rest of what's ever down there here for QQQ. There goes that Colossus. All of these experimentals are dead. There's so much mass on the field. How much is on the field? That's a really, really, really big render number. And now there's a nuke. Lands in Count Sragula's base. Kaboom! That's another air grid that just gets wiped out. Air grids are a huge focus, of course, this game. 400,000 mass on the field. 160,000+ mass where all those experimentals died. That is going to be a huge win for Team 1 if they can secure the territory, which they're just about to with all of these engineers already on the field, and of course a couple of experimentals to boot. Mavor is ticking up and up and up. The Mavor in the green. Team 1 still has not spotted in. Hyper 2001 is defeated by Just Q. Where is Hyper 2001? He's up there. Looks like he went for a possible snipe attempt or something, but don't really know why, but I guess that's what happens. Team 1 now is at a 5v3 advantage. That laser is now online for Vist in the north. That Mavor is now about to be completed. There it is, 10 hit points, and it is done. It is under the control of Rekather. He needs to get those additional P-gens to get the fire rate actually to work properly. Well, the adjacency to work properly, I should say. Satellites and artillery ripping through this air grid. Oh, not doing great. Not doing great. You do see that the YOLO is not shielded, which is not good. He needs that online. And there goes more of that air grid. There it goes. Just Rekather getting pummeled and pummeled and pummeled this game. We do see in the west those wrecks are being scooped up super quickly here. That is a lot of reclaim. Team 1 sitting at 600,000 mass, and reclaim Team 2 at 373. So we will definitely see a million mass reclaim in this game. Team 1 2.4K. Team 2 at 2.8. Of course, that number is going down with the power constraint. Artillery is now firing, and it is firing at an assuming either the satellites, which it looks like they are. One of them is already down. The second one is going to go down. There goes the wreck for it as well. So another satellite falls out of the sky. Where did it land? Well, there's one right here. And there's... No, that's a P-gen. Never mind. There's another one right there. There's 2 of them right there. It takes a while for them to fall. And a nuke that got killed. Sorry, SMD that got killed. Excuse me. Not nuke. Not the same thing. Do you see that the satellites have now spotted the YOLO? YOLO is the distraction. It is the target of Team 1's aggression. And there are 5 satellites surrounding it, and also artillery raining in. Oh, the laser and the artillery has punched through the shielding. Looks like another satellite got killed by the artillery from the shots from the Mavor. Oh, that's not going to feel good. Oh, there it goes. There goes the YOLO. Oh, but in the east, the artillery here for Team 2's Rekather is still online and rolling. and this was the main focus. Oh, I hear an explosion. Did somebody die? No, I don't think so. Mavor question mark says team 1. And I would say that is a yes, it is. We do see air scouts trying to get some vision on that artillery. Yeah, the YOLO going down hurts a lot, of course, but the artillery is still online. We do see that 3 of the 5 satellites have been eliminated. Just Q was actually killed off, by an explosion from those P-gens. That is rough. So that's what blew up. I was like, no one died, but I didn't see the message. I do apologize for missing it. It's now a 4v3 game, and that one Mavor has now got a kill under its belt. Killed off 184,000 mass already. Do not tell me you're trying to assassinate commanders, because that's not going to work. It's going after this nice, really exposed P-gen grid. SMD is down. P-gen's down. Why not just continue going after the artillery? I know that you have to like retrain or retask their their actual barrels, but still. Lasers over top here have now spotted the Mavor, and is going to be the focus fire of the century here for Team 1. 4 satellites are inbound for Vist, and he has 2 donuts over here. He has another FAF point, building another one after that. So Team 1's going satellite crazy over here. And there is decent shield coverage. There's not enough. I will always say there's not enough. You can never change my mind about that. Satellite trading. Satellite trading. Artillery trading blows here. It's 3 emissaries versus 1 Mavor. Mavor has a lot of piercing power, but there's also multiple lasers over top. The shields are down. The Mavor has lost its shields. It's lost decent chunk of its hit points, but does get a rank in veterancy. So does get a little bit more hit points to try to survive. More artillery raining in. Shields are going down. Shields are down. Emitters are down. And that is a dead Mavor. That is unfortunate. Team 2 could not keep it alive. But unfortunately for Team 1, they lose 2 of the 3 emissaries and a decent amount of those SACUs. And almost all of them if a couple more of them had died. And with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 satellites, it is not looking good for Team 2. 48 minutes on the clock here, and this game is possibly coming to a close. The cleansing, the glassing of the planet system, moon, whatever the nonsense this thing is underway. Nuke is outbound. The Nuke is launching from this position. There's still another one in the clip. It's going to go down. How unfortunate, but the Nuke has been launched. Where is it going? It's going for this space, for those lasers, for those satellites. We do see the comm of Twitchy is moving out the way. Count Swaggler killed off by Wallace. Oof, that's gotta hurt. And now it is a 4v2 in favor of Team 1 still. We do see it looks like he died to a monkey right there. He just went straight for the comm. Donuts are inbound. Satellites just rampaging around the map. We have 2 Fat Boys down the middle here for Rev. And SACU is going up just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. They are going to get a monkey, though. But these are all SACUs. They're not combat preset commanders, any sort of crazy shenanigan nonsense. So 3 crabs is not going to be an issue. Sorry, it is going to be an issue for them instead of the SACUs being an issue for the crabs. We do see that donuts are inbound. We could have a donut on donut fight, but we don't. The donut crashes and probably will kill a couple of SACUs off. Oh, there goes another one. They did kill off one of the crabs. 2 of them remain. They're trying to get in behind the crab, but there's another one inbound behind it. So, no, that strategy does not work. 49.5 minutes on the clock. Artillery still raining in. Satellites still raining in. The comm of Twitchy Mofos on a transport running around the map. SACU is going down. Multiple donuts being built at the same time. Reckon they're probably just trying to spend mass. Yeah, he has full mass power. He might as well spend as much as he can. Multiple wrecks around the map in terms of the donuts. Those 2 crabs pushing in. And Blarg is defeated by Vist with those satellites. And now it's a 4v1 game here. Rekather being the last remaining player. And he goes, nope, see ya, bye. And that is the game, folks, here. 50 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and Team 1 wins the game. MVP for this game, I mean, it's got to go possibly to... Vis did a very good job. QQQ did a very good job. He pretty much set the tone for the game, going for those artillery and the nukes. Vis also built a new one right at the end there. We do have Twitchimofa with his satellites. They did do a decent amount of damage, but besides that, he wasn't that impactful. I mean, he did do a decent amount, to be fair, but I'd say overall punching power, I don't know. It is hard, but I do think the artillery from not just QQ, but QQQ was probably the straw that broke the camel's back for that artillery here, because had it not been artillery, just lasers, the Mavor would have been fine. Mavor is actually trying to be rebuilt. But yeah, I don't think if it you can't have one without the other. But I'd rather have 3 artillery pieces than 5 satellites, especially the emissaries. So I think I'm going to give it to QQQ there for the MVP award. Thank you so very much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching to the very end, and I will see all of you in the next one.